Welcome everyone. Today in this session we will continue with the lesson that we were studying or that we were discussing before. That is the second lesson of class 12 that we follow in the CBSE NCERT book. The name of the lesson is population, world population and distribution. So we have in the part 1 we have little bit discussed about the topics of the lesson. So here we are going to continue with the next topic, that is component of population change, the component which help in the change of population. So there are three important components. The first two important component I have written it here in the board, that is crude birth rate. The birth rate means the number of live birth in a particular region or maybe in a particular country within a particular year, that is called the birth rate. So the formula to find out the crude birth rate or the total birth rate is number of live birth. Live birth, why it is used here the word live birth? Because many baby after getting birth only they used to die. So the baby who die just after getting birth, they will not be included in this live birth. So baby who are alive after birth, so those baby by the total population into 1000. So per 1000 population, how many new babies have born, that will come under crude birth rate. After that, crude death rate. So the total number of death per 1000 population. So total number of death, then total number of population by 1000. That is per 1000 population, how many death has taken place. This will determine the change of population. Now, if there is more amount of birth rate in a particular region, in a particular country, the birth rate is more, obviously the population will increase. If the death rate is more, then if death rate more people has died, then obviously the population will come down. As a result, that is why it is known as that both this birth rate and death rate has direct impact on the change of population. So next, come to the third important component of population change, that is migration. Migration is a very important component of population change. So migration means movement of population from one place to another, either permanently or semi-permanently. Simply, if someone move from one place to another, like a boy or a student, from morning he go from his home to school, again from school he come back to home, that is not migration. Some people they go to some other place just as tourist or just to see that place for refreshment, that is not migration. So if a person migrate from one place to another, he should be either permanent for some days or permanent for his life, or at least semi-permanent for few months, few years. So this type of movement is known as migration. So migration has two different destination, that is place of origin, from where migration has taken place, from where a person has started to move, and second is place of destination, to where that particular person will go. For example, if a person is moving from a city center, from a village to city, so the village is the place of origin and the city is the place of destination. So again he may move from a small city to a larger city or to a metropolitan city, then that small city will be place of origin and the metropolitan city will be place of destination. So both in this place of origin and place of destination, in both cases, in both region, both places, there will be some impact or some effect of on the population of that particular place. From the place of origin, from where the people or where the person have started to move away, has gone out, the total population of that particular region will come down, because people have started moving away from that particular region. So the place of destination, where the person has gone or where he has gone and settled, he has become permanent there. So in that region the population will increase, because people from different region will come and settle there. So in the metropolitan cities or in the areas where there is a huge amount of job, employment, etc., people from different region, they used to come and settle there. As a result, the population of that particular city or metropolitan city grows. And in the village area where all these things are not available, people, they don't like to stay in those places. They leave those places and go away. As a result, the population of that particular region comes down. More than that, in both cases, there is also age and gender limited migration. For example, more people move away from the village area to the city area in search of job. There is more male person. In comparison to female, more male, they move from village to the city area in respect of in search of job. So in this village area or in the place of origin, there will be less male and more female, and in the area of destination, where in the city area, there will be more female, more male, and female will be less. So there will be dispute in the gender also. So the next topic is types of migration. There are two important types of migration. One is known as immigration and other is known as emigration. Here it is IMM, here it is E. So immigration means in migration, people coming from outside to inside. That is, from, suppose if you take the example of India, people from other parts of the world coming to India, that will be called as immigration, coming from outside to inside. So emigration means people going from India to other parts of the world. That is, for example, if you take people from India, they go to USA, they go to Canada, they go to UK, etc. So these all are called as emigration, people going from one place to out. So in short, if you want to understand, if you want to remember it, in immigration means in migration, coming inside, and emigration means out migration, going outside. So next important topic about migration, that is factors of migration, factors affecting migration. So there are two important factors. One is called as push factor. So push factors are those factors which compel a particular person to leave his birthplace and go away. So no person in the world want to leave his birthplace where he has taken birth, where his childhood has passed. So no one will want to leave that particular place and go away to settle somewhere else. So, but this push factor are those conditions which are not available in a particular place, which compel a particular person to leave his birthplace and go somewhere else. For example, the most important condition, that is, it is the lack of job, lack of employment. So this is one of the most important conditions for which people leave a particular place and go away, go somewhere else to settle down. So because of lack of job, people leave their birthplace also and go somewhere else. Other than that, poor living conditions. If the living condition in that particular place is very bad, like no electric facility, no water facility, no shopping malls and all, so people also don't like to live in those areas. Mostly in the village areas, these all things are not easily found. No hospital facility, no good schooling facility. For that, people leave that particular place and they go somewhere else where all these things are there. So these all conditions push the particular person to leave his place and go somewhere else. That is why these conditions are called as push factor. And pull factor means the same condition which were not available here, the same conditions are available somewhere else, somewhere in a city area. Then those factors will pull or attract that particular person towards itself. Maybe in that village area, these all things were not there. In a nearby city, all these things which were not available there were present in the nearby city area. So as a result, the village area, the person will move from the area where these all things were not there to the area where these things were present. So these all things will be called as pull factor, because it has pulled the person from the area where lack of facilities were there to the area where there is huge amount of facility. So next, let us discuss about the trend of population growth, that is about the whole world, the trend of population, world population growth. So if in 2000, if we see the total population of the world is around 6 billion. So in 1987 it was 5 billion, that is to add the next 1 billion it has taken 12 years. So next again in 1975 it was 4 billion, again it has taken 12 years to add. So in just 12 years and 12 years 2 billion population has been added. But if we go back, and back, then you will see that about from 2 to 3 billion it took around 30 years. Then from 1 billion to 2 billion it took around 100 years to add just 1 billion. From 1 billion to 2 billion become from 1 billion to 2 billion. So if we see the most recent or the most updated data, that is in the last 2 or 4 decades, in the last 4 decades, that is around from the 1980, from around 1980, in these 4 decades, if we see the population growth has been very rapid, it is very fast. Now why it is so, why the world population has grown so rapidly in this 40 years, what has happened in this 40 years? Let us discuss about that. So the causes why there is a rapid growth of population in this last 40 years. So there was industrial revolution in 1750. So after industrial revolution, the industries have started to grow. So in all the sectors, industries have started development. Due to the industrial development, there is technological advancement have come in all the sectors. So from 1970, it has taken around 200 years to give advancement in all the sectors. Now due to this advancement, first advancement came, that is in the medical sector. So because there is improved advancement or improved technology has come in the medical sector, so as a result the death rate has come down, and also the death during the time of birth also have come down. Now people, they don't used to die. Before there was a notion inside the head of the or inside the mind of the people that because the birth rate was very high, so a couple, if they will give birth to 12 or 14 children, then 7 will die and 7 will be there, 7 will be safe. So but because of development in the medical facility, the birth rate has all of a sudden come down, but the death rate did not come down at the same. The death rate has come down, but the birth rate did not come down, because birth rate was something that is inherent in the notion or thinking of the people. As a result, the birth rate was high and the death rate come down, the population increased all of a sudden. So next advancement, that is in the field of agriculture. Not only in the field of medical, but also in the field of agriculture also development or advancement have come. Now doing agriculture is not a difficult work, because many machines, fertilizers, then pesticides, all these things came into the market. So now growing in a small piece of land, huge quantity is very easy. It has become very easy. So before people, they had lack of food, and people, they used to die of lack of food, because somewhere there is famine took place. If drought takes place, people have no agriculture, because of famine also people used to die. But after the advancement of agriculture, due to use of irrigation, fertilizer, pesticide, all these things, now there is a huge amount of abundant quantity. If in a particular place there is lack of or a scarcity of food, then from other place it can be supplied. As a result, people now don't used to die, because huge amount of agriculture can be produced, huge amount of population can be supported. As a result, people don't die. That also has put impact on growth of population. Next is in work also. So due to the technological development, next thing that is has become very easy is work in all the sector, that is either in agricultural field or in household work or in industrial production. In all the field, the working condition has become very easy. People has very easily started becoming work. Even in washing clothes, cooking food, everything has become very easy. As a result, the population has grown all of a sudden. In the last 40 years, the population has abruptly started increasing to a very great level only for these all regions. So next, let us come to the next topic, that is doubling time of world population. So the word doubling time of population, it means that how much time a particular population will take to double itself in a particular rate of particular growth rate. So if the growth rate is 6.1, at 6.1 how long it will take to double itself, that is called doubling time. But here if we see the first 1 million year the world has taken to add the first billion population. So the world population has become 1 billion, that is in 1 million years, but just in 12 years it has become from 5 billion to 6 billion. So the last billion that has been added to our population, to the world population, is just in 12 years. Just you think that rate of increase, the rate of how it is becoming double and double day by day. So the speed of doubling of population is very high. Region wise, if you see in the whole world, we will see the developing countries or the underdeveloped countries, their population growth rate is more, the doubling time is less. But in the areas of which is developed countries, their doubling time is very long. Or even in some countries like Russia and some other countries, there is negative growth rate of population. So population is not increasing, there is no possibility of doubling of population, but the population has the possibility to decrease in the future if it goes in negative growth rate only. So in some developing countries of the world, there is fear of a population explosion, more population, and in the developed countries of the world, due to negative growth rate of population, the population is going on decreasing and decreasing. So next, let us come to, that is spatial pattern of population change. So though the world population is increasing very rapidly, but in all the regions of the world it is not the same. So in some regions of the world the population increase is very high, and in other parts of the world the population increases very slowly. So though in such countries where the population is less, total population is less, so if the population growth rate is high also, then also there is not much effect is seen there. But if the population is very high, then if less population growth also will affect the population growth. For example, small growth rate but high population. Growth rate is small but population is high, then the result will be more. But high growth rate but total population is less, then the result will be less. For example, if you see 10% of 100, suppose total population is 100, then is 10%, though it is 10%, but it is the total answer is 10 only, so increase is 10. But if 10% of 1000, then here though it is also 10%, but here the increase is 100 because the total population is more. So high population, though less rate of interest, but because of high population, in those countries where there is high population, though lack of interest, rate of interest is less, but still then the population will go on growing and growing, it will become bigger and bigger. So let us come to the next point, that is impact of population change. Now already we have talked about the change of population, how it changed and why it changed. So if population change from after time to time, now what impact it has on a particular country. Here a small increase of population is in the change of population, is a small increase is good. Obviously a country will not want to decrease its population. Already we have discussed about countries like Russia, so they are having negative population growth, and some countries of Europe also they are having negative population growth. Now if there is negative population growth, so those countries will face some problems. For example, some works like working in the army. So army is something that is related with patriotism. It is not something that a person coming from outside will be posted in the army. For example, in Russia, if they want place for the placement of people for army. So they cannot put someone that is coming from outside, because he has no belongingness with his country. He may not have any love for his country. But army is something related to the love of the country. And if there is negative population growth, that means in many households there will be either one child, of one couple there will be one child, or there will be no child. Now if a couple has only one child, then obviously he or she will not prefer to send their children for working in the army. So in such case, it will be very difficult for a country to maintain its army level. Other than that, there are many other jobs or that will come from people from outside. They will come and occupy it. So a negative population growth is obviously not good. But if it is very high, population increase is also not good. There should be increase, but a very small rate of increase. So that is good for the country. But if it is in negative, that is not good. And also if it is very high increase, then also it is not good. Now if the increase is very high increase, then there will be some problems. What are the problems? First is depletion of resources, the available resources in the country. If the population is very high, if the increase of population is very high, as a result the available resources will be used in a huge quantity. As a result, the resources will get finished very soon. This is one problem. Then because of huge amount of population, there will be living condition will be very bad. People will be living here and there, and there will be no proper giving of living hygiene and everything. Proper hygiene system will be not there. As a result, there will be area where it will be very dirty. So there may be epidemic, many different kind of diseases may take place. There may be famine, people may die for getting not to eat. So all this may happen because of high population, because of high population growth. So these are some of the impact if the population change is very high, and also the impact if population change is very low. Next, let us come to a very important topic, that is demographic transition model. This is a model which explains the population growth of the world or any country in different point of time, or from the starting up till the end. So this model explains about the growth of population in different point of time. Now first let us understand, we have already studied about the importance of medical technology, introduction of medical technology in the field of population growth. So when a country is very underdeveloped, when there is no medical technology, so people, they have always the notion, we have already discussed, always the notion in the mind that when we give birth to 14 children, then 7 will die and only 7 or 6 will stay. And at that time, when the country was very agrarian, dependent on agriculture, they need more population or more people to work in the agricultural field. They need more children also. So these all notions were inside the head of the people in the concept. So as a result, people, they used to give birth to more children. So as a result, in the initial stage, all the countries, any country it may be, before when there was no development, no technology, no medical facility, everything, then the birth rate and death rate was both very high. Birth rate also very high, death rate also very high. So as a result, the birth rate and death rate, here this line shows the birth rate, this line, so, and this line shows the death rate. So as a result, the birth rate and death rate was also very high, death rate was also very high. If 7 children takes birth, out of that 8, 9 they used to die, only 3, 4, 5, 6 remain. So because birth rate and death rate was very high at the initial stage, so the growth of population, this line shows the growth of population, so the growth of population was very low, very less. So because the birth rate and death rate was very high, the growth of population was very low. But in the second stage, when the country enters the second stage, in the second stage the medical facilities come, the medical technology is introduced in the country. As a result, when medical facilities are introduced, as a result the population directly comes down. That is, the death rate directly comes down. Now people don't die. They don't die. Now in the second stage, because of medical facility, the death rate come down because now people die less. So the death rate has all of a sudden come down. This is the death rate. So the death rate has all of a sudden come down. But because of the notion that is inside the head of the people that we should give birth to more children, that don't come down very easily, because people, they don't understand the thing very easily. It is only after huge amount of education, development of knowledge, then only people will understand that we should not give birth to more children. Otherwise it is very difficult to make people understand. So as a result, the birth rate don't come down. The notion, the thing that was inside the head of the people, it will not go very easily. So they go on giving birth to more children as a result, because the death rate has come down, but the birth rate has is very high, still very high. So there will be a very huge gap between death rate and birth rate. When there will be less death and more birth, then obviously people will population will increase. As a result, the population growth will be very high. This growth of this population curve, you see, it is very rapid. So this part is known as population explosion. In this portion only, population used to explode in all the country, in every country. So in all the countries of the world where in the stage 1, sometimes of in some years back, and some in all these 3 stages, every country should pass. So in the 3rd stage, when we go, the people now, because the death rate has already come down, it is already less, people now understood about the thing that we should not give birth to more children. The side effect of giving birth to more children, people also came to know about all these things. Now the birth rate has also been controlled. Birth rate also came down. So as a result, there will be a position when the birth rate and death rate will be almost same. When birth rate also low, death rate also low. So as a result, what will happen? There will be high population, but the growth of population will be now stagnant. Though population is more, but it will be stagnant. No increase of population more, because birth rate and death rate are both level. So these 3 stages, all the countries of the world have passed through these 3 stages. But still today in the world, many countries are in different stages of this demographic transition model. Here Bangladesh is still in the stage 1, or last part of stage 1, you can say. So Sri Lanka is a country which is in the stage 2. India is also towards in the transition part of stage 2 and 3. India is about to enter to the stage 3. So countries, developed countries of the world, that is USA, Canada, all these countries are now in the stage 3. So the developed countries are in the stage 3. The developing countries are either in stage 2 or stage 1. So these are the countries. So one important point I want to say, that all the countries of the world have crossed these stages in some part of their life, but except China. China is only the country in which who has not crossed any of these stages, because they have controlled their population from direct stage 1, they have gone to stage 3. This stage 2 they have not entered, because they have controlled their population with the help of a policy that is called as one child policy. And because China is a communist country, they have implemented the policy such harshly that every population, every couple in their population were compelled to do or compelled to follow the things what were said. So this was about the demographic transition model. So let us go to the next topic, that is population control measures. Now though population goes on increasing, now there should be some planning or some process should be applied to control the population. Now here one concept is there, that is called family planning. Family planning means giving or applying certain method by which there will be less giving birth to less children. A couple will give birth, or giving gap between giving birth to 2 children. This is called family planning. Either giving birth to less children or giving gap between 2 child. So this family planning method may be implemented or may be put into the mind of the people by various methods like propaganda, that is making advertisement. So making advertisement, people should be made understood about the ill effect of getting more children, or about the health condition of the woman if they go on giving birth to more children. All these things should be made people understand. Next is giving knowledge to them, education to them. If they come to know about the side effect of giving birth to more children, then obviously they will understand the side effect of having more children or more population. They should be given free contraceptive. Contraceptive means these are some technological things that has been recently introduced or that has been introduced in the society so that population can be controlled. Like some tablets are there, some plastic or rubber things are there which should be used before going husband and wife when they come together. Before seductive process, when they do this, contraceptive should be used so that the population can be controlled. Next, also tax disincentive should be applied on the population where family where population is more. If they give birth to more children, then tax should be imposed on them so that other families will take example from them and control their population. Now next, let us go to the next topic, that is the last one, side effect of, or if we don't, why do we need to control our family, why do we need to control the family, apply family planning. If we don't apply family planning, what will be the result? So if we don't apply family planning, what will happen? Thomas Malthus, one of the geographer, in 1793 he put forward a concept, or you can say a model or theory. Accordingly, he said that this is about the resources in a particular country, and this is the population, increase of population. So the resources in the country, it used to increase in the arithmetic rate, that is in plus, that is called 2 plus 2 equal to 4, then 4 plus 4 equal to 8, then 8 plus 8 equal to 16. But population increase in geometric rate, that is 2 into 2 equal to 4, then 4 into 4 equal to 16, then 16 into 16 equal to 256. Now you see the difference between the resources to sustain population and the increase of population. So here it was equal, in this portion it was equal, but here it has increased, population has increased, resources have become less. But here if you see the population or the resources, the difference between resources and population has, the gap between them is very high, it has become very high. As a result, what may happen, there may be resource crisis, there may be famine and other different problems which may create different problems in the society. So he suggested to have preventive check. Two type of check he has said. One is preventive check, other is physical check. Check means to control the population. So preventive check means to control the population by ourselves. If we by ourselves control the population, that at that time when he gave this concept in 1793, at that time there was the modern control of population, that is called the contraceptives that is available at present were not there. So he said about like late marriage, to marry very late so that the period to give birth to more children will be over. So such kind of preventive check. But at present we can add to that in preventive check that contraceptives should be used for controlling population. Then physical check. So if we don't control the population by preventive check, then what will happen? Physical check. Then the nature will give something, nature will do something that it will control the population by itself. It may be by creating tsunami, by creating flood, by creating famine, then other kind of diseases. Many things may happen which will bring down the population, and nature will make it by itself, because these two should always be equal. This is resources, this is population. These resources and population should be equal. If it is not equal, then obviously the nature will do preventive check and reduce the population and make both of them equal. Thank you.